All right, so on the channel in the comments, I had a couple of viewers ask, how did I get the deal I got on this 2025 Mazda CX-70 Turbo S Premium Plus. So I figured I'd print out the deal, actually deals, plural, 3 deals that I had lined out, and go over those and how I came about obtaining those 3 deals and why we chose this particular vehicle. And before I do that, do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do the thumbs up thing. You know how that works. It helps. I'm close to getting 500 subscribers. I've got a lot of information on the channel about this vehicle, more to come. My 23 Tundra, our travel trailer, my TYM tractor, lots of videos. I got about 370 videos on there, so please do that. That'll help. So let me go ahead and get into this. We purchased this vehicle about a week ago, out of state, and let me start by saying, when we start looking for vehicles, I do all the research. I look at the specs, models, whichever manufacturer it might be. We've had Acura, we've had Volvo, Toyota, Ram Heavy Duty, Jeep, etc. So once I started looking at this vehicle and finding out all the specs and the details, we knew we wanted the high-end model, which is this Premium Plus. Now this is the inline 6 with the mild hybrid. It's not the 4-cylinder, the PHV I believe they call, but this is the model we wanted. And the way to tell it, this is the highest end trim vehicle, whether it's a CX-70, CX-90, even a CX-50, is this tan Napa tan leather interior. It's like a suede or like an Alcantara. So anyways, once I determined which vehicle we were going to go after, regardless of color, I started calling around. And in about a 250 mile range, okay? And I do that because, 250 miles is about 4 hours each way driving, and or also I can have a vehicle shipped for about $600-700. So didn't really matter to us where we bought the vehicle from. I was just looking for a fair deal. And I will say, right now, Mazda's got some really good deals out there because they seem to have, like a lot of manufacturers, a lot of inventory. Not just on this vehicle, but a lot of their other vehicles. And they're also offering really good rebates, which I have on these 3 deals. Now these deals are from dealers directly from the sales manager. So when you start negotiating the purchase of a vehicle, you really need to get to the sales manager. I mean, in the last 5 years, we've bought 7 new vehicles. We still have 3 of them. This replaced, so this is a 4th new one. So we buy a fair amount of new vehicles, and nothing against the salesman. I mean, you need to let them do their deal, but really the sales manager is the one that makes the deal. And all 3 of these deals are from sales managers from dealerships. So I'll start right here. The first deal I had was on a zircon sand. Let me try to focus in there. There you go. Zircon sand metallic. So this was the first deal. And this is what, when you get close to making a deal, whether you're doing this remotely or you're doing it at the dealership, and I do it remotely so I don't have to sit at the dealership for hours and go through all the hoopla that, they pull. This is what you get. So 2025 Mazda CX-70 Turbo S Premium Plus package. This is Mazda's code. There's the color. There was the date. There's my email, which matches, my YouTube channel. I have that across the board on these deals. This was our trade. The 22 MDX Advanced package is super handling, all-wheel drive. Had about 32.5 on it. The new vehicle had 15. So this was a good deal. And we weren't sure about the color is why one of the reasons why we didn't get this deal. Anyways, sticker on this vehicle is $57,995, and that's pretty much standard. you know, there's a $625 delivery fee that is tacked on all these vehicles. So pretty much about, let's just call it $58,000 is pretty much the standard price for one of these new CX-70s in a Turbo S Premium Plus, the non-PHV, again, inline six. So back to my deals. So I'm going to jump down right here to this yellow, this rebate. This $3,500 is pretty much standard across the board on all three of these deals. What Mazda is offering, they have $2,500 advertised, but it's really, they're doing $3,500. So that in itself is a good deal off the retail price. You know, I think on this vehicle, it's a nice vehicle. It's a high-end vehicle in my opinion. The power's great, and I'll get into more of that in another video on what we think overall about the vehicle. So there was that. Now moving back up, the discount right here. Now this was about a week's worth of my time to do these three deals, and I'll back up here, and you can see if this will focus, and you can pause this at any time to look at these deals. But I spent a week's worth of my time negotiating these deals, okay? And you know, not everybody's going to get these deals. You know, I got to say I'm pretty good at negotiating. So I got on this deal, we were going to get an extra $4,639.60 off the total deal, bringing the price of this vehicle down to $49,855.40. Now that's a pretty darn good deal on a brand new Turbo S Premium Plus CX-70, and this was a great deal. The $38,000 was the value of our trade. It was paid for. The difference on a purchase, the dock fees, those are title fees. This IMF, that's the sales tax, out-of-state difference sales tax, and non-tax fees or dealer fees. So this deal was going to cost us out the door either $13,445.15 in, you know, check or financing. And you know, here you go. We took this 36 months at 0%. It was a great deal. On the financing, they've also got 1.9 for 60 months for those that just want to finance outright. You know, our trade was paid for, so that's the deal we did. So this was deal number one. Okay, there you go. Deal number two was the rhodium white. Now, we kind of favor white vehicles. We wanted to get away from white, have something different, but these CX-70s in this rhodium white, I gotta tell you, they're gorgeous. I mean, they're really, really good looking. It's a really good looking color on this body. It's very complimenting in my opinion. So this was deal number two, and you can see the same thing, you know, my email, the date, the description of the vehicle, you know, again, our trade, and here you go, $58,000 flat. Okay, and by the way, deal number one and deal number two had no other options. I mean, the Turbo S Premium Plus is pretty much optioned out. There's a few small options which you can get, and the vehicle we bought does have those, and I'll go over that. So basically both vehicle 1 and 2 were basically no option, just that's your base price on these loaded vehicles. So $58,000. This one I had negotiated there, $3,154.25. And then there's the rebate, and you see the adjusted price. So this one was going to be $51,345.75. Again, $38,000 for our trade. The difference, you know, title fees, you know, out-of-state sales tax, and then, you know, dealer fees. Dealer fees are a little less on this one. So this difference here, this was going to be $14,750 out the door. Okay. Again, we were going to do the 36 months, 0% on the balance on that. Number three brings me to this vehicle here that we have. Okay, sorry about that glare. So deal number three is the vehicle we ended up going with, and I'll tell you why here. So kind of run through this again. You can see, you can pause that if you like. There's the description. Okay, this is the polymetal gray. Okay, there's our trade, and there's the deal. This vehicle also had the highest price window sticker because this vehicle does have a couple options. Those options are the Spectrum paint set, which is the clear protective paint film on the mirror and the mirrors and the hood. You can kind of see that. Also, it's got the roof racks, and it's got the cargo cover and cargo net in the back, and we wanted that stuff. So back to this deal. There's the retail price. Look at the discount I was able to negotiate on this thing. Almost $5 grand, $4,921.60. There's the standard $3,500 rebate across the board on all three deals. There you go. As I said in previous videos, just over 50K, $50,598.40 is what I got this vehicle for. There's our trade, there's the difference, title fees, tax, dealer fees, and that was our balance. And we did the 0% on this. So that's the deal I got. And again, how I did it is I took a week's worth of my time negotiating this, and I never set foot in any one of these three dealerships to do this deal. I did go into a dealership. We test drove one vehicle, and they couldn't touch these prices, and they didn't have the vehicle in stock, unfortunately, that we wanted. And we would have purchased from them, and I would have even paid more if they had the vehicle just to have that, one-on-one experience. But this is how, in my opinion, how you've got to buy these new vehicles. I mean, there's always going to be a dealer out there that'll be willing to deal. And you got to take your time, and you can't get overly excited. And if you go to the dealership and they start running numbers and you're not good with numbers and back and forth, I mean, this is a better way to do it. If they're serious about selling you a vehicle, they'll send you, these are quotes. And you see this last deal, was signed. I mean, we drove 3 hours to get this deal right here. We liked this color, this polymetal gray in person. Now it's probably going to be a pain to keep clean. And again, the white was gorgeous, but we've had the last two new vehicles were white, pearl white. So here's the sun hitting this color. So, if that makes sense and it helps anybody, that's how I got the deal on this car. Is I held tight and I did a 250 mile search from where we're at. I contacted about at least 5, maybe 6 dealers. And I also looked on Mazda's website, and they have a way to search to see who has vehicles in stock. And again, these were in stock. So you're not going to get this deal on a vehicle that's not in stock at a dealer, or a vehicle that's got a horse trade another dealer for a vehicle like this. You're not going to get that kind of a deal. But that's how I did this deal. So again, I'll just kind of step back right here, and you can pause this, and you can see there's my deals, 1, 2, 3, and we went with number 3. Number 3 is sitting right in front of you. And these two right here, I know for a fact are still available. I know where they're at, 1 and 2. And 1 and 2, they're a great deal. And I think really number 1 was probably the best deal with the price difference. But again, 1 and 2 had none of the little extras that we wanted. I mean, these things come hard loaded, in my opinion, anyways. So that's it. That's how I did that deal on this car. All right.